to everyone. Woo-hoo-hoo. And as Sandy said, inshallah, next year is going to be an amazing year for everyone without all this pandemic thing and corona, whatever. Although we had a good speeches about it. So let's have only the good memories, forget about the bad things, and enjoy our life ahead, inshallah. Let me introduce some ground rules before we go ahead and start with the meeting. In the beginning, I want you all to keep your videos on if you want, because we would like to see your reactions when we are speaking or delivering anything. We would love to see your beautiful faces. If you want to switch to make it off, it's up to you, but I wish to see all of your faces during the meeting. But yes, Sandy, exactly. But I want you all to keep muting yourself unless if it was asked from you to unmute yourself, because if there is noises around you, we won't be able to concentrate. Other than that, let me introduce to you our club mission. In all Toastmasters clubs, we have one mission. And let me tell you, it is very simple to remember and very easy, and you can divide it into 3 parts. The first part, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience. The second part, why do we provide this positive environment? It's because it's to improve our communication and leadership skills. And when we improve it, we reach to the third part, which is what? We improve our communication and leadership
resulting
skills,
in greater self-confidence.
and greater self-confidence and personal growth. So don't forget it. Supportive and positive learning experience to improve our communication skills, to have a greater self-confidence and personal growth. With that, with welcoming everyone, let me introduce to you our president of Kuwait Advanced Toastmasters Club, Dr. Muhammad Makhlouf. Woo!
Thank you, DTM Arid Jafar, Acting Sergeant at Arms, for our meeting today. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dear Kuwait Advanced members and guests. And for all of you, Happy New Year, Happy 2021, inshallah. And as DTM Arid said, 2021 without any challenges. We had enough challenges in 2020, alhamdulillah. But the good things in 2020, we learned a lot of things. Let me speak a little bit about our prestigious, the first advanced club in Kuwait. This club was the first to be chartered in 2008. And from that time, it took the privilege to guide the Toastmasters community in Kuwait to become better. And this year, we took that as our goal. And in the past around 6 months, we had every month educational session, including 2 presentations conducted by 2 eminent Kuwait Advanced members, and also a well-organized meetings. We had every month in each meeting a different general evaluator, learning from their feedback and getting this advantage to improve our club better. We had most of the division directors as our general evaluators, also many area directors as our general evaluators. I would like to thank each and every member in our club XCOM for their efforts they did in the past 6 months, and looking forward for more in the coming 6 months, inshallah. And now let me share with you the agenda for today's meeting. And may I ask DTM Alka, our VP Education for tonight. DTM Alka, any changes in the agenda for tonight?
No, Dr. Makhlouf, there is no change.
Great. Hearing no changes and hearing no objection from any of our members, we adopt the agenda as it is. Now, for our guests, it's our pleasure to have many guests for tonight. First of all, DTM Hisham Jeffrey, good evening and welcome to our club.
Good evening, Dr. DTM Makhlouf. It's so nice to be with Kuwait Advanced Toastmasters. Greetings from Bahrain. Happy New Year to you. My name is Hisham, and it's nice to come virtually across the seas to this wonderful club. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to a great time with all of you. Thank you, and back
Thank
to you,
you
Mr.
so
President.
much. Thank you so much, DTM Hisham. Thank you. Toastmaster Monish, nice to meet you, sir, and have you today in our meeting.
Thank you. I live in India. I live in India, north part of India, Jammu and Kashmir. The town where I live, we do not have a Toastmaster club. At the time of COVID-19 is a nuisance, madness. But it was a blessing in disguise for me at that time. Toastmaster went online and I became Toastmaster. This is the best platform I find where we can hone up our public speaking skills. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
And I
We are so
find
happy to
your
have you.
club
Happy
very
New Year.
energetic.
Thank you. Mayar, we are so happy to have you, Mayar Shat.
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 Hi.
أهلا وسهلا.
Hello
Sorry for
all,
the
happy New
mispronouncing.
Year. La la la,
Thank you.
no problem. Hello all, happy New Year first of all, and I'm really so happy today for this meeting, and thank you so much. Happy New
Thank
Year
you,
for
dear.
all
We are
of you.
also happy that this is the second meeting with us. Thank you for coming and joining today.
Thank you so much.
Poppins, good evening. Nice to
Yeah,
have
good
you
evening,
in
sir.
our meeting today. Welcome.
Yeah, it's happy to see you all. It's very pleasant to participate with you people because this is the first time I'm joining Toastmaster.
It's our pleasure to have you. Thank you, Poppins, for joining.
Dr.
Yes.
Makhlouf,
Big round of applause for all our guests, please.
Dr. Makhlouf is our non-Toastmaster as a panelist 3. Thank you.
Inshallah. Thank you, sir. With that, welcome for all our members today. And I now will introduce our Toastmaster of the day. I think this is her first role in Kuwait Advance after joining last meeting. With a big as a member, yes. With a very big round of applause, help me welcome one of the Kuwait best speakers in Arabic and in English, Hind Abeid.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, President of CAT Toastmaster Club, Dr. Mohammed Makhlouf, for this sweet introduction. And good evening, dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. When in our last meeting in Kuwait Advanced Toastmaster for the year 2020, as a year folds and a new year unfolds, hopefully filled with all the goods and blessing for all of us. So, today in our Toastmaster meeting, we usually have 3 segments. So the first segment is the prepared speeches, the second segment is the table topic speeches, and the last segment is the evaluation session. So these sessions are not introduced by me, but with a wonderful and a great team that will going to help me, and you'll see their beautiful faces tonight. So let's start with the leader of the third session, the general evaluator for tonight, and he joined Toastmaster since the year 2017. He currently serves as Division H Director, and he presents and enjoys every moment of life. Please help me welcome TM Faisal Jamil.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Toastmasters today. Toastmaster Hind Abeid, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
The purpose of General Evaluator is to evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting. During the meeting, I'll take notes on everything that happens and doesn't happen. I will evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look for a good example of preparation, organization, delivery, enthusiasm, observation, and performance of duties. At the end of the meeting, I'll give my report and I'll conduct one part of the session, which would be the evaluation session at the end. I'll explain my role in details when I will take over again before taking my role. With this, I'll hand over the control back to our Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Hind.
Thank you, Toastmaster Faisal, for explaining your role. And now we move on to a very important role, someone who keeps track of time, because in Toastmasters, time is essence. So when I asked her what was her future message to herself, she said that stop eating. I don't know how she can do it because she have a really wonderful bakery. And she also said that she will do great. Please help me welcome DTM Arid Jafar.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hind. And yes, of course, I have to tell, stop eating, like this. Okay, thank you. Today, my role as a timer, I will be explaining the time for each participant in the segment. When everyone, and I will be showing to you the background. So if a person or a speaker reach the minimum time, I will show the green background. The mid of the time, they will see the yellow background, and the maximum of the time, they will see the red background, and they will have 30 seconds grace period to wrap up their speeches. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Arid, for explaining your role as a timer. Please, all participants, remember to pin her if you are going to be a speaker on the stage. Now we move on to the second or the third role for tonight, and this person is to test our listening and carefulness. So her letter, or her future letter to herself, was yes, that to never regret the good deeds if they were given to the wrong people, and to keep inspiring others and make the difference. And she really inspires others. Please help me welcome DTM Fatma Abdu.
Thank you so much to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Hind Abeid, for this wonderful introduction. My role for tonight is the Hark Master. And you know that Toastmasters environment provides us with many, many opportunities. One of these opportunities is that we apply and we practice our hobbies. Ask me how. I'm gonna test you by the end of this session, and I'm gonna ask you many questions, because this is one of my hobbies, to ask people and to test their listening skills. So I will be preparing many questions. You see this? This is my notebook, my pen, and I'm preparing some questions for you. So prepare yourself and be attentive. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Fatma. Please, everyone, be attentive and focus. We move on to our last role for today, the table, or, okay, I'll not say it. So this role, or the person who's going to present this role, her message to her future self is to never underestimate her value. And no matter what anyone else says or thinks, this life is only temporary, but Allah's promise is eternal. Please help me welcome the wonderful DTM Sandy Stein.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Hind. And tonight I am the Table Topics Evaluator. And you're going to hear more about my role when the General Evaluator takes over. See you later.
Thank you, DTM Sandy. And now, are you ready to hear and listen to wonderful messages from wonderful speakers? Are you ready? Okay. So, with the theme tonight that the past cannot be changed, but the future is yet in your power. Let's start with our first speaker for tonight. But before I introduce him, I will hear from the evaluator of his speech. And the evaluator of his speech is a person who wants to tell themselves in the future to keep being strong and to stop wasting time and to chase your dreams and make them true as soon as possible, and to keep the child inside them alive so they can keep giving to everyone. Please help me welcome the beautiful butterfly, DTM Ola.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Hind. Good evening, everyone, and good evening for the guests. Good evening to my targeted speaker, DTM Ram Kumar. Ram today is working on a presentation mastery path. He is working on level 3 and delivering project number 2, and this project is ethical leadership. The purpose of this project is for the member to develop a clear understanding of his ethical framework and create an opportunity for others to hear about and discuss ethics in the member's organization or community. Already it will be explained much more by the Toastmaster of the Day as I understood, and the time for the timer will be 15 minutes. So the critical ethical leadership challenges, and the title of the discussion will be a battle between exuberance of youth and expertise of experience. So good luck for you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, dear DTM Ola. And now with our first speaker, someone who appreciates the blessing of going back to home safe and healthy. So let's all put our hands together to welcome DTM Ram Kumar. DTM Ram?
Yeah, I'm with you. Can you allow me share screen, please? Thank you. Moderator. Appreciate it.
You still cannot share the screen? Ram?
I can. Thank you. Good evening, wonderful Toastmasters, guests, and wonderful audience. Today we are going to voice for justice, voice for ethical leadership, voice for transparency for our community benefits, our leadership, where we are. The topic we are going to talk about, the critical ethical leader challenges, the battle between exuberance of youth. In short, exuberance, if the people, if don't understand the word, I would like to say some of the guests who are non-Toastmasters. Exuberance is the talent they have, the energy they carry, the quality of being full of energy, excitement, and cheerfulness. Exuberance. That is what is all about the youth that we have today in our modern society, so-called, in our cultural diversity. And the expertise, on the other hand, of experience, full of experience, like our Dr. Makhlouf. Ola Rashid, my evaluator, and many of us who are experts having 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 years of experience. Here, the battle is what and how should the organization be able to have a strategic balance between youth and the experienced professional being recruited in today's life. I did a various studies, but in the Middle East, somehow it is fading away. Experience is least prioritized. Youth, academic qualification, credentials have been taken into consideration, having recruited, not just recruited, having recruited in the higher positions without experience. Here, according to Aristotle, you will never do anything in this world without courage. Are we having enough courage? Let us see, let us talk, let us explore the ethical leadership. It is the greatest quality of the mind next to honor, in the words of Aristotle. Let me define ethical leadership is a leadership that is directed by the respect for ethical beliefs and values like we have in Toastmasters. In corporate, we have in values like community welfare, community care, leadership excellence, and transparency. Respect. There are several other values we have in the corporate organization, including the human resources. And for the dignity and rights of others, it is thus related to the concepts such as trust, honesty, consideration, charisma, and fairness. Honesty, let me, don't deviate yourself. Honesty is everlasting. Dishonesty is temporary and detrimental to your person's character and reputation. I'm talking with perspective, keeping in mind the current era, the modern era. In short, let me define ethics, what is right and what is wrong. Ethical choices are all based on us. It can be affected by the situation, the culture, and professional expectations. It could be good, it could be bad. If you choose wrong decision, it could be bad. If you stand up for the right, being ethical leader, and one person can make a huge difference. Like Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to the Kuwait Advanced Toastmasters today. I introduce myself as a moderator, DTM Rachapalli Ramkumar. Discussion with panelist members. I framed 2 different sets of questions, including, as per the project manual, 1 non-Toastmaster member here. On the critical ethical leadership challenges, the battle between exuberance of youth and expertise you have as an experience Toastmaster, as an experienced organizational professional. Before I have questions on the platform, I would like to introduce, please help me welcome DTM Hisham Jeffrey. Please, I would like to have a virtual applause. Hisham Jeffrey, 17 years as a professional trainer, presently working as a senior lecturer at the Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance. Previously served for 6.5 years as a manager in the Ernst & Young, Bahrain. District 20, he is a champion, evaluation speech championship he won, and again, he is a second runner-up for the humorous speech champion. He also added to his cap another feather, that is Triple Crown. Please help me welcome one panelist, the champion, DTM Hisham Jeffrey. Thank you, DTM Hisham Jeffrey. I would like to invite the second panelist. I see he's equate vast experience in the leadership, not only in the profession, in the environment, health and safety background. He works for the Equate. having more than 25 years of experience. He was second runner-up. He went to the division level as a humorous champion. He has several accolades to his cap. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Nilesh Attade. He is an area director also in the Toastmasters. He has both professional achievements as well as personal achievements to his academic career. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Bobbin. Bobbin, can I see your virtual video, please? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening.
Thank you. Bobbin is a non-Toastmaster. He's a third panelist member today who will be with us. Bobbin works for Kuwait Oil Company. He worked before the National Petroleum Company. He had more than 13 years of experience, and currently he's engaged with the Kuwait Oil Company Organized Resilience as part of my department. He not only took a leadership role, also he took a leadership role in response to communications, coordinations, collaboratively in my work organization. He is non-Toastmaster Bobbin. Bobbin, we miss you. Yeah. Okay. This is the third
Yes,
non-Toastmaster. Appreciate. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Bobbin, for joining us.
yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me take you, as per the research and analysis in the Middle East, in the name of recession, many have become jobless. Many of them are looking forward for the good job based on the experience because they never lost their faith in them because they're highly qualified. They feel that one door is closed, another door is open. Are you one among the recession party? I was one. 9 months I suffered, not having a job, knocking the door, going after the person to person, people to people. I think here in the CAT members, I have knocked the door of Dr. Makhlouf, DTM Wafa Salman, I think many other, Alka Kumra, even Kapil Kumra, NBK. I will want to desperately take a new job, but I did not get it because I'm more qualified over experienced. To cut short, critical ethical leadership among our corporate organizations to serve better among our community. Community, when I say it is our people, our public, how do we bring justice? The first question I would like to take is to ask DTM Hisham Jaffrey. Sir, welcome to Kuwait Advanced Toastmaster.
Thank
What
you,
would be
DTM.
the 3 core skills as a profession? Let me talk about the profession like an engineer. Has the future would require to excel? What are the 3 core skills that require to excel in future? Keeping in mind the perspective of organization and the recruitment. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question, DTM Ram. The engineer, the communicator, the leader of the future would require 3 core skills, and they can be summarized by the acronym ART, A-R-T. And they stand for attitude, resilience, and technology. The professional of the future, the leader of the future would critically have to have an attitude of the perpetual learner and the constant student. Because we passed the agricultural age, we've passed the industrial age, and we are in the age of information and ideas. The attitude of 24/7 constant learning is critical. And the second attitude is resilience. If you look at the history of financial collapses from 1925 onwards, earlier we used to have a financial crisis once a decade, then once every half a decade, once a year. And now it's become like pulling bonbons and getting a surprise out of these crackers. It's a Russian roulette of which country is going to have a financial crisis next. Resilience is a microcosm that is required on an individual level. An attitude of never giving up, looking for the next opportunity, being ready to go the extra mile, do the extra yard is crucial. Attitude of a student, resilience, never giving up. And the third one is technology. Gone are the days where we can assume that technology is an option. It is as natural as breathing to be able to embrace, enhance, and leverage technology to deliver solutions that are truly groundbreaking. Because with technology and mastery of technology, what the professional of the future gets is massive capacity and speed of processing, which is much faster than any time it has been in our history. For the professional of the future, for the leader of the future, for the communicator of the future, if you want to shine, you've got to master your art, your attitude, resilience, and technology. Back to you, DTM Ram.
Thank you. Thank you, Sham. Another subsequent questions with your answer on the art, I picked the word resilience. Resilience is restoring to normalcy. When you keep yourself at the organization perspective as a human resources, you being a human resource, let us say as HR manager on my vivid imagination, you talked about the art, you talked about the attitude of never giving up, you talked about embrace, enhance, leverage technology. Keeping in the perspective of youth exuberance, having academic qualifications and not having experience, how do you think HR as an organization to embrace, enhance, and leverage without experience?
Thank you for your question, DTM Ram. And this question is as old as organizations have been around. It's like the chicken and the egg story. We don't hire people because they don't have experience, and they can't get the experience unless we hire them. But this is where your first impression counts. If you are a young person looking at your first interview, your first job, or your first paycheck, the first thing that you need to look at is your first impression. Because every one of us comes to an interview with our own unique skills, with our own unique perspectives, with our own unique attitude. And it is critical for us to be able to project that onto the employer and the audience of the future. So if that is the case, on an individual level, it's very important for us to be able to communicate and project what's important to me as critical for the organization's success. If it was easy, everybody would do it. And that's why picking the great employees is like picking diamonds out of a dusty diamond mine.
Thank you. Thank you, Sham. Let me have a second panelist, Toastmaster Nilesh Attade. Welcome, sir, to our panelist discussion today. Thank you for your valuable time. Area Director Nilesh. Forward question to is, we are running short of time. It is appropriate. Is it appropriate to replace experienced employees with a fresh hire? How do you value it?
Thank you, DTM Ram Kumar. See, we know that people die, right? But the company doesn't die. So hiring a fresh graduate is essential for the organization. But replacing the experienced candidate with the new graduates is not at all logical and not at all ethical, because you have invested a lot of time hours, man hours, training hours, and a lot of investment being done to get that experience to that particular person. And now you want to replace that person with a fresh hire to meet some illogical goals, which is not at all appropriate in my sense. So it is not at all logical to have like fresh engineer. But yes, there has to be a gradual integration should be there for the knowledge transfer, but not like directly replace with the
Thank you.
fresh engineer.
Thank you, Nilesh. Let us have a non-Toastmasters opinion, viewpoint of it. Bobbin, are you with me? Bobbin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
New recruits at workplace on higher positions is good or bad decision according to ethical leadership in the HR strategy. What do you think?
Of course, in my point of view, it's a common knowledge that new recruits are still at the learning process. So they need a constant advice from the higher position or higher level people. So definitely, it is a, in my point of view, it is a bad decision to recruit the new one without experience.
Thank you. Thank you. To conclude this conversation, out of 3 panelists, and almost Isham also agrees that art, the beautiful word he said, attitude, resilience, and technology, we heard, and we also heard from other 2 speakers that experience counts. With experience, having the strategy with the HR as in one organization can benefit our whole community holistically, beyond cultural diversities. Back to Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you, panelists. Please give them a virtual applause. I appreciate your time and valuable comments. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, DTM Ram, for a wonderful presentation and panel. Do we have a 1 minute to give feedback? Or should I continue? Okay, I'll continue. Okay, so moving on to our second speaker for tonight. Her message to her future self is short but very powerful. She wishes to that, or she says that I'm good and I'm going to be better and I want to achieve the best humbly. Our second speaker for tonight is DTM Rohaina, but before we listen to her amazing message, I'm sure let's move on to her evaluator and who sends himself a message in the future to stay away from negative people and to thank God for all the blessings that he has. Please help me welcome DTM Mohammed Makhlouf as the evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. The objectives of our speaker tonight is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify her primary style, and also for the member to share the impact of his of her style on others. All the best. Time is 5 to 7 minutes. You have the title?
Yes, sir. Oracy,
No,
indeed,
I mean
a need.
Toastmaster of the Day. Okay. If you don't have it, I can tell it. Toastmaster of the Day.
Yes, I don't have it.
Okay. Oracy, the need of the need, I think.
Indeed, a need.
Indeed, a need. Yes. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, DTM Makhlouf. And now let's move on to our speaker with her speech. Don't forget to pin the timer. Best of luck with your speech.
Thank you so much. Just a moment, let me just have a proper gallery view of everyone so I can see you all. All right, that's lovely. And I can see my timer too. Good evening to all my lovely CAT members, and of course the non-CAT members and the non-members. But of course, we are all here as great people. How are you all doing? I hope you're having a lovely cold evening. Oracy. What do you mean by oracy? Oracy basically is nothing but oral communication, the way you do oral communication. And that is one of the techniques that we over here learn, don't we? Go to your room right now, I told my 3-year-old daughter, who had just pushed her little sister. She went away crying into the room. Much later, I realized that I was a bit harsh on her. I went to the room. I looked at her. She was weeping and sobbing. I hugged her, kissed her, and I told her. I made her understand that what she did was wrong. But you see, the damage was done. Little children do not realize that when parents get angry, it's for a reason, or we don't realize that we have got angry or miscommunicated with them. She hugged me back and said, "Sorry, Mama, I will not do it again." But yes, I had communicated harshly. When I was expecting my third baby, that time I was alone in Kuwait with my 1.5-year-old daughter and, of course, my other baby who was in my tummy. Since I was too tired after a day's work, I did not want to make a meal in Ramadan. I said, okay, there's some leftover soup from yesterday. I heated that. I cut some apples and oranges and got some cake out, even for my little one to have. Set everything on the table, and as I brought the hot soup and kept it on the table, I forgot the spoon in the kitchen. I ran inside to get it, but when I came back, thud. My little one, 1.5-year-old one, being so inquisitive and curious as to what's in the bowl, she could barely even touch the tabletop. She pulled the bowl. Partly my fault. I had left the soup bowl a little, at her hand's reach. It was all over the carpet. I was very quiet. I cleaned up the carpet. I hugged her and said, no problem. Let's make some more soup. But inside, I just kept saying, thank God it didn't fall on her and it didn't hurt her. I then explained to her softly, sweetly, and surely that it could have fallen over her, it could have hurt her, it could have burned her. And she kept nodding as if she understood every word I was saying. But kids are definitely smarter, and she listened to me attentively. I guess that was my first dose, or maybe one of my first doses of communication, communicating well. I still have not been able to achieve this with my darling husband. Raise your hands if you have a very smooth conversation with your spouse. Well, always? Question mark. And those who say yes, that they have smooth conversations, are definitely hiding the truth. But the art of communication and listening well is the skill you can practice very well with your spouse only. You see, you can start it at home. Because you have to disagree to agree. That's lesson number 1. I had a terrible, impatient, inner devil within me who could not wait to hear the full talk when my husband would start speaking. But then, you see, I'll tell you what happened. I'll come back to my story later. Public speaking is just not about communicating, but communicating well. And we all have different ways of doing so. We all have our own ways, like direct, initiating, supportive, and analytical. Now, direct way is when you are result-oriented, focused, and competitive. Like a CEO of a company who's like a tyrant. I want this job done right now. Initiating, sociable, enthusiastic, persuasive, who can communicate easily and are full of energy. Supportive, patient, cooperative, and sympathetic. Calm and steady too. Analytical, they are very cautious, precise, and disciplined. Often a little bit diplomatic too. Now, analyzing myself where I stand among all 4, I felt I have learned to lend my ear, literally, to my husband. I like to hear him out and then point out what is good or bad, or agree or disagree, and be kind to his frustrations. Now, this makes me completely a supportive communicator. Believe me, patience does pay in the end. Looking at my relationship with my daughters now, I am very direct actually with them because I want results. I am very focused. I need results. But then, that's just 1% of me. The remaining 79%, because 30% is supportive, remember? So the 69% of me is an initiator. I love being sociable. I love being patient, enthusiastic, empathetic. I open conversations in clinics with while waiting to see the doctor. I open them with all the patients around, or the school teachers when I go to meet for school parent-teacher meeting, or with the managers or the waiters in the restaurants. And that's me and my children and my husband. Like, what is wrong with you? You should speak with everybody. But that's me. I like to be social. You see, I am a social butterfly, spreading my wings, smiling and reaching out. Life is short, so I love to start up a conversation. It helps me learn so much in about life. Yes, I have recognized myself as an initiator and a supporter. Have you found what you are seeking? Back to you.
Thank you, DTM Rohaina. Well, are these beautiful messages to receive at the end of this year? So, moving on to our third speaker, who is sending to herself in the future a message which says to remember the lessons learned in the past, and how she took the courage to change her path despite all the doubts and discouragements from people around her, and how she became such a successful person today. So she tells herself to keep the courage and the conviction to keep moving forward. It's none other than our amazing VPE DTM Alka Kumar. But before we listen to her, let's go to her again, amazing evaluator who wishes that in 2021 she is expecting a lot from herself and she wants to do the magic. And let's forget about all the unpleasant things that happened in 2020. Please help me welcome DTM Wafa Salman.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Let me read the objectives for DTM Alka. The purpose of her project is to clearly define how Toastmasters envision mentoring. And it's for the member to share some aspects of previous experience as a protege. And the time is 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you.
Thank you DTM Wafa, thank you. And now let's move to the speaker, the last speaker of tonight, DTM Alka. Are you ready?
Thanks.
Yes.
Toastmaster of the Day. Before I start, let me say the title of my speech, Mold and Shape. Way back in 1996, during the annual postings and transfers in NABARD, that is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development in Mumbai, India, where I was working that time, the list of postings just came out and I met this gentleman who was the head of department of Production Credit Department in NABARD. Well, this department looks after the short-term lending, both the policy formulation as well as the execution of it. And this gentleman, Mr. G.K. Agarwal, was the head of department. He was grade F as Chief General Manager, which was 4 levels above my grade, which was grade B as manager. When I was transferred, the custom in NABARD was to go and meet the head of department so that if there are any reservations on either side, those can be sorted out before the final list of transfers is published. So I went for my meeting with Mr. G.K. Agarwal. And during that 15 minutes meeting, my first impression changed completely. My first thought on seeing him was that he was about to retire. Why? Because what struck me were his trembling hands as he wrote. But as we progressed through the discussions and pleasantries, my opinion completely changed. He was deeply knowledgeable, had a great command over English language, and very pleasant to talk to, far from retiring. Well, as he told me later, his feelings for me too had undergone a similar metamorphosis during those 15 minutes. When he first saw me, he thought I was just like any other young mother in a public sector organization, was going to be there forever thinking of my small daughter back at home, asking to leave early or come late to work, not serious about work. But as he heard me tell about my understanding of my responsibilities in that position, he saw a bright promise in me. And his views changed. As he told me later, he sat up and took notice of me at that point of time. And at the end of that 15 minutes, he told me, well, you don't have to do all that alone. You have another grade B officer and 2 grade A officers to share those responsibilities with you. From that day in 1996 till 2002, when I shifted to Bahrain to be with my husband who had just shifted there recently, he took me under his wings like a protective mother. He molded me up as a bond of trust developed between us. He molded not only as a production credit expert, but he also shaped my work ethics. While I had always been organized in my work, what I learned from him was to be meticulous and have an eye for perfection. That is what I developed while working with him. I had often heard people say or call him by the name Parky, as they thought he had Parkinson's disease. While I would always find it very insensitive for my colleagues to call him by that name, I often wondered how someone with such a sharp memory and such a sharp brain can have Parkinson's disease. Well, as we got closer, I came to know his condition was something else. It was ETD, essential tremor disorder, which is a neurological condition where the brain and certain muscles lack coordinations. And fortunately, this had only affected his hands, whose tremor he was unable to control. But he did not let this disability come between him and his passion, because his work involved writing day in and day out. Yet he would keep writing with those trembling hands. While I had always been sincere and committed to whatever I did, what I learned from him is love for the work. He would often say, while my first love is my family, when I come to work, all my love and passion is for my work. And for me, while I learned sincerity and dedication from my father, the love and passion for work is something that I learned from him. He would always start the day with asking me about my daughter, or later on for my son too, and then talk about work. But he was gentle. At the same time, he was assertive in letting me know the importance of completing the task at hand on time. So much so that on days when we had so much work, policy formulation with tight deadlines, I would not dare to think of leaving for home without completing it. I would call my husband that day and tell him to manage his workday in a way that he would reach home on time to be with our young children. So this love for my work is something that I am ever grateful to him for giving me that teaching. Even after I came to Bahrain and he retired in 2004, we have kept in touch. He now lives in Abu Dhabi with his son and family, but he has been following my progress in life, and I regularly consult him and continue to receive very sane mentoring advice, whether it's regarding my work, my family, or my passion now, that is Toastmasters. As Steven Spielberg says, the delicate balance of mentoring someone is not creating them in your own image, but giving them the opportunity to create themselves. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, DTM Alka. Thank you. This is a wonderful story. Thank you for sharing it with us. Thank you for all the speakers for tonight to prepared speeches segment for the wonderful messages and effort. Now, are you ready to move on to our second segment of tonight? Are you ready? Okay, I think this is yes. So our second segment of tonight is, yes, another fun segment led by a wonderful person who wants to tell herself in the future to summon all, yes, okay, yeah, I forgot something. Should we vote for the best speaker? Or should I move on? Okay, so moving on to our table topic session. So this person is telling herself in the future to summon the courage and allow her new future to begin today. She also reveals that her dreams are hidden by the fear that she expresses to herself. And she tells herself to believe in herself and to go ahead with the infinite hope and endless faith that she can do it. Let us all put our hands together to welcome TM Asma Anizi with our table topic session.
Thank you so much, our wonderful Toastmaster of the Day. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Asma? Yes.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Dear fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, can you hear me?
Yes,
Toastmaster Hind, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, our amazing Toastmaster of the Day. Dear fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, good evening. As a table topic master, people fear me, and these people who fear me are not definitely fear me. They fear the unknown that I bring to them. That's not just for participants in this session, but for everybody in this life. We fear that moment when we are called upon to speak up without preparation. To be quite frankly, I think we fear the situation more than speaking up. However, today I want to share with you two types of topics. The first is simple questions. For example, what is your favorite quote? Which I have asked some of our esteemed CATS members, and I very appreciate their kind responses. You can respond to questions by applying 6 or 7 words formula. What, when, how, why, where, and with whom. You can use these 7 words to create a story and answer your question. The second is a straight topic, such as journey of thousands miles starts with first step. You can apply ORU formula. which is express your opinion, reason, explain the reason, and then reinforce your opinion. Remember, impromptu speech is a mini speech with opening, body, and conclusion. Now, who is ready to do it? Who will be the first participant? Before that, our main host. Can I share screen, please?
Leish, go for it.
Yeah. Who will be the first?
Yes, please. Manish.
Can I explain the time? DTM Asma?
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So the time for each participant in table topic, it's going to be from 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, you will see the green background. 1.5 minutes, you will see the yellow background. And 2 minutes, you will see the red background with 30 seconds grace period to wrap up your speech. Back to you, Toastmaster Asma.
Thank you so much, our amazing timer. Mr. Manish?
Yes, please.
Would you like to participate? Yes.
Yes,
Please select
please.
a color. Please select a color.
Sorry? Can you repeat the
Select a
question?
color. Select a color.
Color, okay, green.
Yeah. Green. Yeah. Robert Ingersoll said, "We rise by lifting others." I repeat. Robert Ingersoll said, "We rise by lifting others." Participant number 1 is Mr. Manish Gupta. The stage is yours.
Good evening, everybody. We rise by lifting others. In any organization, we have to help our colleague. Then our organization will have a name. The organization where I work, the team of the people, those who are working over there, if I have some knowledge, if I can share the knowledge with the people, those who work over there, or if anybody who's junior, who has joined recently and he knows nothing, is completely naive. If I tell him that I have spent so much of time to learn this thing, I will give you the tips, and that can help you to learn faster than me. That will be the benefit of our organization. Our organization, when it will grow, organization will have name, we will also have name. We can say with pride that we work with such and such organization, a company. So we have to help everybody in our organization. Or wherever we go, any game we play, suppose I play cricket, and there are, if any person who doesn't have knowledge, or if I do not have knowledge, if we share with each other, we all can become better. Like in Toastmaster, we help each other that they should rise. We have mentor. We take the advice from her, and we also grow with that. So there are many people, those who join Toastmaster in the beginning, they know nothing, but they learn when somebody helps them. So this quote is absolutely right. We have to help others that they should grow in any field. And that person to whom we helped, like I heard one of the speakers said, how she learned from her boss, love to, and she remembered him. And that's why it was her speech. And she will never forget her till her last breath. So we should help others. And that person will definitely give blessings. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster, please. I couldn't see the light flash, green, blah, blah, blue light. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Wonderful speech. Thank you so much,
Toastmaster
Mr.
Asma,
Manish.
please, during the speech, please stop sharing the screen so the speaker can hear the can see the timer. Thank you.
I didn't see the timer, so I was simply confused. Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Who will be the next participant? Mayar, are you there?
Nilesh.
Yeah. Who will be the next participant?
I can take.
Okay. Toastmaster Nilesh, please
Nilesh.
select number.
Blue? Dark
Please
blue.
select the number. Yeah.
Dark blue.
Dark?
Blue. Blue.
Blue. Yeah. Dark blue. Toastmaster Nilesh, be like the rain. It falls for a few minutes, but it makes people talk about it for days. I repeat, be like the rain. It falls for a few minutes, but it makes people talk about it for days. Toastmaster Nilesh, you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds as a grace period. Please go ahead.
The best attitude what a person should have is the gratitude in himself. Good evening, all the Toastmasters and other fellow members. As we know that the only thing which matters in our life is a gratitude which we express with our people who are around us. So whenever you as a person who meet with others, like if you're meeting with your colleagues, if you're meeting with your friends, if you're meeting with your relatives, if you have an attitude of gratitude and then express your feelings, what you feel about them, you thank them, you appreciate them, you reward them, that makes you a person in such a way that whenever they remember you, they will remember what you said to them. They will not remember as a enemy, or they will not remember as just a colleague or a friend, but a person who appreciated them, a person who helped them, person who always with them. So gratitude always matter. So please have a gratitude whenever you talk to everyone, so that you will be a rain for them, you will be a blessing for them, so they will remember you in future. Over to Tabletop Master.
Thank you so much for your wonderful speech. Yes, I agree with you. Gratitude always matters. Thank you so much. Who will be the next?
Mayar,
Toastmaster Jam. Yeah, Mayar.
I want Mayar to participate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mayar, are you there?
Bravo, Mayar.
Yes, I'm here.
Please select a color.
Purple?
Yeah. Your topic is the best is yet to come. I repeat, your topic is the best is yet to come. Mayar, you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds as a grace period. You can start.
Okay. It's never too late. I do believe it's never too late. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. Even in your career, how it's no matter how old are you. It's no matter about your education level. You can learn whatever you want. Just believe in yourself and be confident. And don't ever think that no, I'm old, no, I can't. You can. Whenever whatever you want, you can do it. Just believe in yourself and be confident.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Have you? Yeah, okay.
Back to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mayar. Thank you so much. Who will be the next? Toastmaster Hisham?
Rohena Esteban.
Hisham is raising his hand. Hisham Jifri.
Yes, Hisham.
I'm here.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Would you like to participate?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Please select a color.
Green.
Gray. Your topic is the past can't be changed. The future is yet in your power. What do you imagine yourself doing 10 years from now? I repeat, the past can't be changed. The future is yet in your power. What do you imagine yourself doing 10 years from now? Toastmaster Hisham, you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds as a grace period. Please go ahead.
Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, good evening to you. What an appropriate topic to speak on as we stand in the last few days of this momentous year, 2020. In the next few hours, the apt quote that comes to my mind when I hear this topic is this: the past is history, the future is a mystery, today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. You can't build a time machine and go back into the past and change what has been. But you have 24 hours every single day as soon as you wake up to use as you see fit to change the future and design your destiny. You have 86,400 seconds every single day to take it with both hands and to craft your destiny. Over the next 10 years, I would assume that given these 86,400 seconds every single day, I want to try and make myself into three things. The first one is a better speaker. The second one is a better teacher. And the third one is a better writer. Because I believe that your ability to communicate is your capacity to reach. And if you can reach and touch, that is the first step to changing lives. Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see. And that change starts from within. Over the next 10 years, I would like to be a speaker, a writer, and a teacher. And that starts today. That starts now. Thank you. Happy New Year, and back to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I love your speech so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hisham. Can we have another participant?
We can have one more based on the time of the agenda.
Who want to be the next?
Rohena has raised her hand.
Rohaina, yes. Toastmaster. Please, Toastmaster Rohaina, please select a color.
Is purple done?
Yeah.
Pink.
Pink. DTM Rohaina, your topic is, this is not the year to get everything you want. This is the year to appreciate everything you have. Your topic is, I repeat, this is not the year to get everything you want. This is the year to appreciate everything you have. DTM Rohaina, you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds as a grace period. Go ahead, please.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master. And good evening once again to all of you. As many of you know, and many do not, this year actually has been a year for me where I have learned to appreciate for many reasons. Starting with December 29th, December 30th, basically, in 2019, just a year back and a day back, I lost my mother. And that too, not in Kuwait. It just happened so suddenly that it left us dumbfounded for a long time. So much so that I lost most of my hair. I lost most of my sleep. And then there was lockdowns to recover from it. But we got more time, and I got more time to, not to regret, but to appreciate. To appreciate that what we have, what we really holding, like our families, our loved ones, that is most important. People are here maybe in a transition phase and they are here to go. So when we are with them, make the most of it. We got time. We got time. I got time with my daughters. I got time to understand them, to do things, activities with them, and appreciate them, which I never used to do, maybe when because of my work schedule and because of giving time to other priorities than them. But I learned that what we have, hold on to it and do not let them go so soon. So this year has been a lesson for me in every possible way. Another thing I appreciated was I took a break from work after 25 years working as a virologist. And then I took 1 year break. And then by chance, I got a job in April. I did not really want it, but when I got it, I took it. And I appreciate every moment of it, though it takes most of my time. So this is one thing which 2020 has taught me. Otherwise, it has not been so great. I'm looking forward to a better 2021. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much, DTM Ruhaina. Excellent speech. We all looking forward for a new year full of blessings, peace, health, and safe places. Thank you so much for all participants. Our timer, are all participants qualified?
Yes, Toastmaster Asma. All participant, just 1 second. Okay. Toastmasters Manish took 2 minutes 18 seconds. Toastmaster Nilish 1 minute 23 seconds. Toastmaster Mayar 1 minute. Toastmaster Hisham 1 minute 56 seconds, and Toastmaster Rohaina, DTM Rohaina 2 minutes 16 seconds. So all of them are qualified.
Thank you so much, our timer. Back to you, our Toastmaster.
We don't have voting for.
Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Asma, for a wonderful table topic session. It was a pleasure. And now, after voting to the best table topic speaker and finishing our second segment, let's all move on to the Dare Truth segment with the general evaluator. So let's all put a big hand for Toastmaster Faisal Jamil.
Thank you so much. Toastmasters today, in the way, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests, good evening once again. For this segment, I'll be your general evaluator, and I would request moderator to please permit me to share my screen. I have it already. Perfect. Thank you so much. Here we go with the general evaluation plan. The first, we will have speech evaluators. Today we have 3 amazing speakers, and we have 3 evaluators as well. Our first distinguished Toastmaster, Ram Kumar, he delivered his speech. And to evaluate him, we have another distinguished Toastmaster evaluator, DTM Ola Rashid. Before we move forward, let me just explain for all evaluators, we will have 2 to 3 minutes. I would request timer to please explain the timing for all evaluators.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Faisal Jamil. And all of our evaluators, you will have the same time, 2 to 3 minutes, as Toastmaster Faisal mentioned. When you reach 2 minutes, you will see the green background. 2.5 minutes, you will see the yellow background. And 3 minutes, you will see the red background with 30 seconds to wrap up your speech. And back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. Our timer. I would request our first evaluator, DTM Ola Rashid, to please pin the timer so you always see the timer and will not go over the time. With this, I will hand over the control to our first evaluator, DTM Ola. It's over to you.
General Evaluator for Toastmasters and my target speaker, DTM Ram, good evening again. Today we had the topic, whether to care about the quality and the energy of the youth people or to appreciate more the expertise experience from the old people. Today's RAM project is all about to be a moderator for a certain topic with penalties. I will explain, I will not speak all about it, the good parts. I will speak only one, but we are here in CAT. It's always about how to improve our own communication skills. The thing that I really loved in your speech or the project you delivered, Ram, is how you explained the topic itself. How you gave us an opening eye to what the topic is about and why you will speak about it and what kind of discussion will happen between the penalties. Now, you had 15 minutes. And I do believe personally that you talk a long time in explaining the topic. It was a nice thing to explain it so we will understand, but you took really a long time. I was with the timer on parallel, and till you were explaining, you had 7 and 30 minutes. So I really appreciate it if you just give, you have 15 minutes, a 5 minutes to give a very fast introduction about what you will speak about and how the discussion will be, and then at 10 minutes where you could have divided to 2 minutes for each penalties, and then you will have a 2 minutes where you can wrap up everything. Because by doing that thing, you didn't allow or you didn't give the space to all penalties to speak equally. Actually, DTM Hisham spoke more than the other 2 penalties. At the same time, the questions you were asking, I really wanted if you would have interfered more while the people they were speaking, because here it's not like about you are give a table topic or they are delivering a speech. It's like to question and answer. If you could have make it more faster pace in a way to ask an end on, like they call it questions with an end answer, whether yes or no. Try to use it next time, not to give them the space where they can really speak too much about the topic, because at that time there wouldn't be that kind of discussion like between you as a moderator and the speakers themselves. But this is what I really wanted you to care about more in the future, the timing. Try to cut it, give the equal timing for all the speakers, and you try to cut down from the introduction. If you gave the Toastmaster of the day the introduction about the topic and what will happen, I do believe that would have give you much more time to ask more questions for the people and to have the time to wrap up everything, and maybe you give the chance for the audience to ask 1 or 2 questions. My part is here is done. I do believe now we do have a 5 minutes where we open an evaluation for the floor from all the audience. So timer, can we reset the
Yes,
time?
sorry, I forgot to mention this. For each evaluator, they will have, after their evaluation, 5 minutes for the 360-degree evaluation. And for
Okay.
you, Ola, I will give you only 4 minutes because you are...
Okay, I know, no problem. So who would love to share their feedback about Ram Kumar's speech for tonight? Who would like to add more information or add more feedback? Okay, we have Sandy.
Hi, Ram Kumar. I just wanted to say that in your last speech, you had a lot of slides that were very, very busy. And one of our recommendations to you was to simplify your slides. And you did that tonight. I thought they were really nice and definitely an improvement.
Thank you so much, Sandy. Anyone else? Okay, we have Dr. Makhlouf.
Ram, very nice topic. Very nice moderators and panelists there. But again, as a moderator, you have to have a little of vocal variety. You need really to work on your vocal variety. This will help you more. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Makhlouf. We have Dr. Fatima Abdo.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and of course, DTM Ram Kumar. You did a great job. Actually, one of the main projects that needs or requires a lot of effort and coordination with many people is your project. And I really appreciate that. However, I would like just to recommend you with only one thing, that is, you have to give the space more for the speakers or the panelists to speak and to give or to elaborate, because you are just talking about a topic that needs to express different opinions. And this is my only recommendation. Thank you so much and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fatima. Who would love to share their feedback? Okay, we have DTM Alka.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I would just like to say that this project actually, as DTM Ram initially sent to me, is a 20 to 40 minutes project. And to do complete justice, to give space to the panelists and to the moderator, maybe 20-25 minutes is required. But since we came to know of the timing quite late and we could not accommodate more timing, that's why he had to cut it short. DTM Ram, in the short time, you have done well, but I would recommend that you, the next time you take full time and do the project in a way, like if you give advance notice, we will have a complete project. That's all. Back to you, evaluator DTM Ola.
Thank you, DTM Alka. Who else would love to share their own feedback with Ram? Any more people? If we don't have more, you can share it privately with him. Thank you so much. Best of luck in your future speeches, Ram. And back to you, the journal evaluator, DTM Faisal Jamil.
Thank you so much, DTM Ola Rashid, and for all the other evaluators for 360 evaluation. Now we will move forward to our second evaluator. Our speaker, Rohina Akil, she would be evaluated by DTM Mohammed Makhlouf. Dr. Makhlouf, wave your hand if you're there. Yes. You will have same 2 to 3 minutes with 30 seconds of grace period. I would request you to please pin the timer.
Yes.
One. All right, perfect. We are good to go. Over to you, DTM Makhlouf.
Thank you, DTM Faisal. Soon to be DTM Faisal Jamil. I don't know. You should be soon, inshallah. DTM Rohina Akil. What a wonderful speech. I enjoyed it. You did it perfectly as per the manual. You didn't speak a lot about the characters or what are the benefits of having these characters, what are the negative of having these characters. You took us through a story and explain your own types of communication through the speech, which is perfectly done. You started with a speech at the with a hook at the beginning by starting with speaking with your daughter. We all connected to it. Myself, I had a big, I can give you a lot of stories about go to your room. It's my signature. Perfectly done. You add sense of humor in your speech, ask a question to the audience. Perfectly done. But you know, in CAT, we are not focusing only on the positive things. We are giving more time to points to be improved. Now, the first point to be improved is the position of the camera. The camera was so close to you, Ruhain, that we couldn't see your body language, your gestures, only your facial expressions and eye contact, which was very good. But we need to see more of your body language and gestures. So please put the camera in a position that you can express these things. Next thing is when you are giving the story, your tone was, yes, there was voice modulation, but not enough in a story. You know, when you were speaking about hurrying to your daughter, or which put the soup down from the table, I think your voice should be different than that. So voice modulation, especially in the scenes of the story, should be taken care of more. And all over, where is the energy of DTM Rohaina? I mean, we need more energy in your story next time. So the good points is the flow of your speech, asking question, adding sense of humor, hook at the beginning, very good close, in closing your types of communication in the speech. It was perfectly done, but take care of the position of the camera, voice modulation, especially in the story, and more energy in your speech. Now, let's have feedback from other members of CAT. Anybody have any feedback to DTM Rohaina?
Dr. Fatma.
Yes, may I?
Yes, Sandy, please.
Okay. DTM Murahena, you know, I wanted to see some more of your facial expressions. Mashallah, I was thinking of your storytelling speech that was just so amazing, and how your face told us so much, even if you don't have your full body in there. For example, when you said you heard this thud, and that you came running back in. I mean, I wanted to see, oh my God, I heard a thud. What am I thinking? That the soup fell onto my daughter. That was so potent, and you missed it, you know? It was almost there, but it really could have had a lot more punch. That's it.
Thank you, DTM Sandy.
Thank you.
Who else? Yes, DTM Fatma Abdu.
DTM Rohaina, you did a great job, and I really was really connected and touched with your stories, especially that they are personal stories. And one thing I would like to add, of course, in addition to what DTM Dr. Makhlouf and DTM Sandy have mentioned, is that I felt that at the end of your speech, you have spent at the beginning more than 4 minutes just telling a story or telling story. Of course, they are personal stories and they are linked or connected to the topic itself, or they are part of your objective. However, you need to make this kind of balance, because I felt that you, at the end, your conclusion were so fast, and you just mentioned or have listed many of the traits of the each type of communication. So I would just recommend you to give more time for your own communicate his time and to talk about it. Thank you so much and over to you.
Thank you, DTM Fatma.
Thank you.
Anybody? Hearing none. To conclude, a very good speech, a great flow, well-organized introduction and body. Just work more on the conclusion, the camera position, and the facial expressions and voice modulation in the story. Other than that, well done, perfectly done. Not only well done, perfectly done speech. Looking forward to see more speeches next time. And back to our general evaluator.
Thank you so much, DTM Mohammed Makhlouf and all the 360 evaluators. Now we will move forward to our third evaluator to evaluate the speech delivered by DTM Alka Kumra. Our next evaluator is none other than DTM Wafa Salman. DTM Wafa Salman, I would request you to please spin the timer and you will have same time 2 to 3 minutes. You're nodding your head, that confirms that you already have spin the timer. With this, I will hand over the control to DTM Wafa Salman to evaluate the speech. Over to you, DTM Wafa.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow members and guests, and a special good evening to our VP Education, Madam DTM Alka. What a lovely, well-structured speech. I will tell you what I loved in your speech, and I will challenge you with a few areas of improvements. First of all, you shared with us an experience about a previous mentorship, how your mentor instilled in you the passion and love to work. And beautifully, you added how your father, who's your first mentor, obviously, instilled in you the sincerity and dedication. And all this, you make it in a story. When you start your career, and that's how you shared your story, and you took us in this beautiful journey. When you start your career in India, and when you move with your husband to the Gulf, and how you evolved in that, and how you are still connected to your mentor. Your voice was clear. You had vocal variety fair, I can say. Definitely all the time vocal variety can be improved. But for me, I saw it, it's good. Eye contact was good. However, the screen, I would prefer to make, like now, the camera is below my eye. I'm standing, yes, while you were standing, but the camera is a little bit below. I prefer the camera to be at the eye level. So you will be talking to us and not your head going down. I saw your gesture because you were standing, and that makes me feel that you are standing on a stage, you are confident, and the subject is interested to all of us. Now, let's go for the area of improvement. First is engagement. I did not feel as an audience I was engaged. Not see, engagement in a short speech, 5 to 7 minutes, though you've got 11 minutes, which is good. But you could have asked every 1 to 2 minutes, you could have asked us question, trigger something in my mind. We don't need to answer. Oratorical questions make it easy. And the conclusion. I want you to work more on the conclusion to tell us what's the benefit out of all what you have said us. We as members, we are listening to a story, to your story, to learn something as audience. So what is in it for us that could be packed in the conclusion? So to sum it up, well-structured speech. I loved the journey, and I loved how you took us from a place to another place. Work on more engagement and conclusion. And I challenge you to do some more questions every 1 to 2 minutes. Now, let's go for the round robin. Let's hear other comments from audience. And let me see who is ready. Dr. Fatma.
Yes. DTM Alka Kumra, I really enjoyed each and every single moment and single word in your speech. Honestly speaking, I really enjoyed it. And I got the message you wanted to convey to the audience. However, I have only one recommendation, that is when you started talking about the shift that happened in your life, that you shifted to Bahrain, I would love if you could just move one step to the right or to the left, just to show us that you are moving from one period or from one place to the other. And that's the only recommendation. Thank you so much for this wonderful speech.
Thank you, Dr. Fatma, for the addition. Any other persons wants to? Yes, Ram?
There are only two things in short, in 2 words: effective transitions, little bit of humor, and third thing is vocal variety could have been taken to next level. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram, for the sweet and short comment. Any other? I can see, I cannot see. Let me check. I don't see any person raising his hand. Is there any? No? Okay, great. So, Alka, well done. Good job. Looking forward to your future speeches, and back to you, General Evaluator, Division Director.
Thank you so much, DTM Professor Salman, for wonderful evaluation. And thank you so much also 360 evaluators for your participation. Now we are not going to end here. We have another segment. Before we move forward, I would request our timer to please share your timing if all evaluators are qualified, so moderator can prepare the poll.
Thank you, Toastmaster Faisal. However, here in CAT, we don't do voting. So DTM Ola, she took, let's say that all evaluators, they have from 3 to 8 minutes, because they have 2 to 3 minutes and then 5 minutes. So total 8 minutes. So Toastmasters Ola took 7 minutes, 14 seconds. DTM Mohammed Makhlouf, he took 6 minutes. DTM Wafa, she took in total 5 minutes. Back to you.
Right. Perfect. Thank you so much, our timer, DTM Arrange. Now, since we are in the CAT meeting and we believe in future and we know how to change the future, how to prepare for the future, and we are preparing for the future here by evaluating the table topics. To evaluate the table topics, we have table topic evaluator, none other than DTM Sandy. DTM Sandy, you will have 3 to 4 minutes. I would request timer to please note the time. Over to you, DTM Sandy.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator, and welcome again, everybody. The table topic session was very interesting. Thank you so much to our table topic master, Toastmaster Hind. Really, I loved that saying that you had, that people fear the unknown that I bring to them. But I also wanted to hear a little bit more of encouragement too, because we did have some people here, even though we as advanced Toastmasters generally, we love those kinds of things. But we did have a few that were guests and perhaps might have been scared off. We don't want to scare people off. But honestly, Hind, mashallah, I loved your prompts. They were so nice. And I liked the you know, the colored balls that you used. And once you stopped sharing your screen, as Dr. Makhlouf asked you to do, it was really nice while the speakers gave their speeches. Now, and you also, the way that you introduced the speakers and everything, it was very, very nice. So onto the speakers themselves and how they answered. Toastmaster Manesh, I really enjoyed his speech. He talked about, you know, how that helps lifting others up and helping others, improves an organization. And he gave personal experience with that, which is always great. He stood up to do his speech, and we could see he had good body language and movement, and his voice was very clear. Toastmaster Nilesh talked about having an attitude of gratitude, and I loved his clear message. He was a little bit hesitant. I would encourage you to practice your table topics so that you don't feel so hesitant. And I would also encourage you to stand up or move your hands so that we could see some kind of gesture either by the hands or in the face. Next is Toastmaster Mayar, who is a brand new Toastmaster, I might add, and I'm so proud of her speaking today. And she, even though she only did 1 minute, she made the time limit, and she had some really nice things to say. It's never too late, and you can learn and be confident. I would love, Mayar, to be able to see you, not just your picture. That is my
Inshallah.
challenge to
Inshallah.
you. Inshallah, inshallah. Okay, even though it's a beautiful picture, mashallah. Toastmaster Hisham, DTM Hisham, mashallah, gave 2 quotes in his very short speech, and amazing the way that you structured it. It was really excellent, standing up and giving your body language. And then finally, to Toastmaster Rahena, you touched our hearts with the story of your mother and really got the emotion involved to connect to your audience. I wanted to get a little bit more structure in your speech, however. It seemed to kind of disappear at the end. All in all, wonderful prompts. Great job by our Toastmaster of the day, and wonderful speeches by all 5 of the participants during the table topic speech. Please, I challenge everybody to stand up and give their speeches. And, even though we are on the screen here, it's so nice to see people standing and moving, and it gives that a whole new flavor to what we're doing. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, DTM Sandy Stein, for these wonderful evaluations and suggestions. Now, since listening is so important, and we are going to enter in 2021 with the corona, but still we listen. Not everyone, but our heart master. In CAT meeting, we have another role, which is absolutely amazing thing. We have heart master today, DTM Fatma Abdu, and she will explain what she listened during the meeting. And she will put us in the exam. So be ready. Over to you, DTM Fatma. You will have 2 to 3 minutes.
Thank you so much, our General Evaluator. Are you ready for the questions? Okay.
Yes.
I'd like to ask each and everybody to unmute himself or herself so that you will be ready to answer any question. Question 1. When exactly, in which year did our General Evaluator, Toastmaster Faisal Jamil, join Toastmasters?
2017.
Excellent, excellent, yes.
MashaAllah.
No, she's the Toastmaster of the day, so she should not answer that question.
Okay. Some of the Toastmasters, one of the CAT members said that she intends that to never underestimate her skills in the new year. Who?
DTM Alka.
Yes.
No.
No, DTM Wafa.
No.
DTM Asma.
No.
Oh, I think it was okay.
DTM Rohena.
Arish.
It's not me, I know.
DTM Marie.
Let the answer, not me.
Who?
Rohena.
Enough.
You.
Me.
Dr. Fatima, it is you.
No, it is, she is DTM Sandy.
It's me.
Okay. His quote is to appreciate the blessing of going home safe.
Ram Kumar.
Ram Kumar.
Safe is Ram Kumar.
Stop it.
DTM Hisham Jeffrey. DTM Hisham Jeffrey used an acronym ART. What do
ART
for?
Attitude.
Attitude, resilience, and
Resilience.
technology.
Technology.
Perfect. Yes.
Technology.
DTM. Yes. Thank you. Okay. DTM. Okay. Let's ask about them. Who preferred or who chose green gold? The table topic section. Who?
Oh my God.
Sorry?
Yeah,
Manish.
Manish.
Yes. Very good. Okay.
Yay.
What color did Mayar choose?
Purple.
Purple.
Oh, okay. What color did DTM Rohaina choose?
Pink.
Very good. And
This
what
is
about
unfair. We are not able to
what about
follow them.
Jump in, doctor, jump in.
Nilish.
They are answering before the question.
They are very
Black.
Rohaina, stop it.
Dark blue or light blue?
perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Asma, she said that to believe in, she wants to believe in something. And
Oneself?
herself. Perfect. Yes. And one of the senior members in CAT said that she expects a lot from herself. And
DTM Wafa.
Unfair.
She collected the quotes from each one.
Last question. The last question. What
Mute her. Moderator, mute her, please.
Yes, please.
Mute him.
Dr. Makhloof is very slow.
We didn't hear you. We didn't hear you, Dr. Fatma.
DTM Alka. What was her first impression about her senior or head?
That he has to retire.
Sorry?
He has to retire.
Yeah, because his hands
He had
shake.
yes, shivers.
Okay.
Yes.
The tremor.
Yeah, by this I end my session and thank you so much for your good listening. You are perfect, awesome. And over to you, our general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Haq Master, DTM Fatma Abdul. Now, since we have gone through with all the segments, let me share the screen again and we will have a look of the evaluation summary sheet where we have the three parts, the name, role, the brilliantly done segments, and where we need to add a bit more to make it great. So we will start with the Sergeant at Arm and timer. DTM Arid Jaffer opened the meeting with full zeal and timings introduced for segments. Amazingly done. For each one, we have to give them a big round of applause. Where we can add a bit more to make it great, the mission. Do it by heart or read from the screen or the paper, so we will not miss the words. Timer should interrupt to explain the timings for the speakers if not being called. It's evaluators or general evaluator, everyone's duty to request you to please explain the time before, let's say the speaker was not able to see at some phases where they can go over the time. The next one is the president. Thank you so much, Arid Jaffer. The next one is President DTM Makhloof. He welcomed guests, agenda adopted. Unique ideas are being implemented in the clubs while bringing the general evaluator, different general evaluators from different clubs. Where we can add a bit more, that's to encourage members by announcing their achievements and achieved club awards. If we do have, that will add value at the start if we have achieved few awards. This is also a recall message for all the XCOM members, especially for VP Education, VP Membership, and VP PR. If there are few awards, to please keep an eye on those awards. Now, table topic evaluator, DTM Sandy Stein. She appreciated table topic master and speakers and pointed out the improvements brilliantly, where she can add a bit more. Table topic master should explain why table topic and the benefits. She missed though, so it was one of the points that you could have mentioned, that why she should explain, especially for the guests. And I suggest if you all, any table topic evaluator should share one tip that how to improve your table topic skills, especially for the guests they are coming. So they would be more encouraged to participate into the next segment or any other meeting. Heartmaster, I don't have any comments. She has done it brilliantly. That was a fun segment, but still where you can add your bit, that was you can control the audience, not to speak on someone's behalf. That was over fun. I suggest to control the audience that time so everyone will get chance to speak. Table topic master, Toastmaster Hind, you distribute it and explain the agenda at start and role player properly introduced. That was two of your duties other than the theme. But I suggest the theme should be explained a bit. You just mentioned, I heard only one time at the start, you just named the theme and that was only as a name. So I suggest if you can also remind them so they can add in their speeches, especially even for evaluators, even for table topic speakers, they can add that, that theme in their speeches. And also we should request, if it's being practiced in the club, we should request all the every time end of each segment, so we can be on the time. This is one of the thing we can be on the time if we ask timer if all are qualified. The last but not least is for evaluators. DTM Ola Rashid, she briefed speech objective and encouraged speaker. The timing criteria should be explained, not as a journal like 5 to 7 minutes. It should be like how the timer will see the cards and we can involve the timer at that stage and request them to pin the timer. Well, I suggest if you can not push more, but suggest in more positive manner. Even I know that DTM Ram was could not that manage the speech well in terms of timing, but still we can encourage speaker in more positive manner. DTM Makhlouf briefed speech objective as well, and suggestions were to the point. My suggestion for you is, since it's online setting, ask speaker to locate and pin the timer. Speaker was not able to see the timer. Show how to improve. You mentioned 3-4 things to improve. So I suggest at least you mention how the speaker can improve body language and how to move and where to stand. That would be the good pose or at the front of the camera. DTM Wafa Salman, she briefed speech objective as well. And I love the part where she summarized. I suggest you follow the pattern by saying objective and the time and the title. And that is for all evaluators. If we follow the same pattern by explaining or briefing the project, time and title. As a general evaluator, my suggestion at the end, to follow the TI best practices, TI general evaluator checklist item, I have seen again, and I found something new, which guides us to that the GE should be introduced by TMOD and other role players by general evaluator. Timer allocated for general evaluation. In the speech evaluation segment, what I noted, it was almost not 25. I recalculated, it was 23 minutes, which is like the whole time. So we can also segregate the time. So all, if there is 360 evaluation, so we can have more benefited. As a summary, as a positive summary overall, I observed the meeting preparation, organization, timeliness, enthusiasm, and carrying out the duties from role players absolutely met the objective of the Toastmaster meeting. I'm so pleased and happy and excited to be in one of the CAT meeting first time as a general evaluator, and I enjoyed the meeting and learned new things. Looking forward to have a great meeting again. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, TM Faisal, for a thorough evaluation for the session. Thank you very much for being here at CAT. And now my role is done. And for the sake of GE, let us remember the theme of today or tonight, which is that the past cannot be changed. So the future is in your power. So with the new year coming in the horizon, remember that the future is from your making and in your power. So from here, I end my role and I deliver it back to our president, DTM Mohammed Makhlouf.
Before anything, big round of applause to DTM Alka Kumra, who managed to finish the meeting on time. Well done, DTM Alka, and well done, role players, speakers, and everybody in the meeting. I'm so proud of you all. Regarding our general evaluator, thank you so much, Toastmaster Faisal Jamil, for blessing our meeting today and evaluate the meeting. Your points will be taken care from next meetings, inshallah. Please send it to me and to DTM Alka, and we assure you that we will follow the points. Regarding the achievements, I used to do that at the beginning of the meeting, but because this meeting a little bit different, I'm now announcing the achievements. With the project finished by DTM Alka, we will have 1 more points in the DCP. Now we are 6 points in the DCP, and inshallah, by adding the points of attending the training, the second training, we will be 7 DCP points before end of December. Big round of applause for all members, for all the effort they gave to Kuwait Advanced Toastmasters Club. Well done, leaders. I'm so proud of you all. We, in the next year, will do more for our members and for the Toastmasters community in Kuwait. Please stay tuned and let's hear from DTM Alka if there is any announcement regarding the education of the club.
Evening. Yeah, we actually we need to congratulate DTM Ram, who has completed level back and gave the credit to us. So with that, we got the 5th point, and today we got the 6th point. And we have our club contests on scheduled for 25th January. Depending on the number of contestants, which I am seeing as we see in the group, it's more than 3, 4 in each category. So we might have to do it on 2 days. And the second day will be the first Friday or Saturday of February. Since our area contest is on 12th February, we'll need to finish it before that. So, sorry, 19th February. So we'll finish it before that. So please give your names if you are available on 25th, and the first February, first Friday or Saturday, we have to still decide depending on the convenience of our event chair and the contestants. It will be Friday or Saturday. So please give your names. That's all from my side. Back to you, President.
Thank you, DTM Alka. And I want to announce for all who doesn't want to participate as a contestant in the contest, please, let's all welcome the event chair of Kuwait Advanced Toastmasters Club, DTM Wafa Salman, our immediate past district director. She will be the event chair. Please assign your name to take a role in the contest if you are not competing in this contest. So with that, I adjourn the meeting and let's hear from our guests tonight. Oh, we have still, yes, Toastmaster Nilesh. How did you feel about our meeting tonight?
Thank you, President Dr. DTM Makhlouf. It was a really amazing experience for me. And as we know that when we go to others' club meeting, we learn a lot. So I really appreciate, and today you made my day. CAT made a day. I think this year will end up with a lot of experience. And I learned today that more types of evaluators can be also included in the team as a meeting. So like Heart Master, I never heard of. Me. This is excellent. This is a fundraising. It can raise the bar of the whole meeting. So that is really very good. It's a very amazing experience. I really enjoyed. And thanks to everyone. And that's it. And wish you a happy New Year 2021. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We enjoyed your table topic and participation in the DTM Ram Kumar speech, and welcome again anytime in Kuwait Advanced Toastmasters Club. Happy New Year to you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I will not ask DTM Faisal now. You should be DTM. Manish.
Just to ask,
how did you feel about our meeting?
Before you ask, nobody leaves because I need to take the group photo and then.
No, please, let's open our cameras all and have a group photo before leaving. Mayar, open your cam. Farah, let's all open our cameras to take a group photo. Then we will hear from Monish.
Next time, inshallah, I will open my camera. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, dear.
I'm taking the photo. So 1, 2.
Wait. I want to be.
3. Thank you so much.
One more. Okay, Manish.
It's an incredible meeting. I really enjoyed. I
Thank
find
you.
you all energetic. And I would love to attend your meeting with you again and again. And I requested in the beginning, you said agenda is full next week. Whenever you have a meeting, I would love to speak a prepared speech, please. Thank you.
Sure. Let's have, please send the link for the CAT friends to Toastmasters Manish to know more about our next meetings.
And more even doctor, he can also welcome as a member for international. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. Farah.
Yes.
Did you enjoy our meeting, Farah?
Actually, I just joined very late, just 15 minutes before I joined.
Did you enjoy the last 15 minutes, Farah?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you so much. Nice to have you and welcome. We start every last Monday at 6:30. Please join us next meeting.
Okay.
DTM Fatma, can you please share the link for friends on the chat group? And Mayar, I need to hear from you. How did you feel about our meeting? Did you like it?
Yes, sure. It was an impressive and interesting session as usual. I really want to thank all of you for the motivational spirit. Thank you so much. And
thank you, Mayar. Please.
Sorry?
Oh, thank you, Mayar, so much. Voice is cutting or it's a problem? Thank you so much. And for our special guest for tonight, Toastmaster Faisal, we heard a lot from you, but last words to close the meeting.
I can't say anything on my last words. Don't say that's not lol, that's cat. So I don't say my last words here. All right. Well, I'm so glad. That was a wonderful evening I had with all of you. Since I see Wafa, Ram, Fatma, and Sandy, you, Alka, Ola, and Reej, if I'll not name her, Rohena, and the people I don't know. There are a few guests, Farah and Manish, and Mayar, I saw first time in any meeting, and Asma as well. So Nilesh even. I believe that was a great evening. I saw all of you after a long time. to gather in a meeting, and we are blessed with that online technology, even the Zoom. We adopted, and 2021 is going to be a great year. Wish you all the best and have a great time, all of you. Thank you so much.
Inshallah. Thank you so much for having you today as a general evaluator, and please join us always in Kuwait Advanced Toastmasters Club. We are missing you. The division director took you from us. With that, we thank you all, and moderator, you can now finish the meeting. Thank you, and bye-bye all.
Good night.
Good
Have a
night.
beautiful
Good night.
week.